third year in a row you've played these guys. If they're different quarterback, what is Francois? What does he do, and how different is he?
Well, I mean, first of all, Jimbo does a great job with the offense. I mean, they actually run plays that are well designed and really effective offense. I mean, you look at their offensive line. I think the O-line coach Strickett does a great job. They're physical up front. They really want to run the ball. They got skill outside of wideouts. So when you have those players, and then you look at the running back Cook. I mean, to me, he's if not the top player in the country, he's certainly in that short order. He's explosive. I think he'll be a tremendous player at the next level, and he's just a guy that makes a lot of things happen. So the fact that they're well coached, they got good players around him, it allows him to play within himself. And he's a talented guy. I mean, when you look at him, he goes through progressions as far as where he's got to throw the ball. He understands it. He's got a really good arm. He can put touch on it. He can throw it in the tight windows, and he can throw it in the tight coverage. So, that's why they're the second-ranked team in the country. They're talented, so we understand that we got a challenge and we got to keep working and prepare.
Todd, Bobby was saying on Monday that you guys have rewatched the tape from last game last year, the second half, to kind of remind them.
Well, every year we always look at our opponents as far as that we play in the conference. In other words, we're going to look at everything and try to look and see what's been happening. So we've looked at these guys, we've looked at everybody we play. So from that standpoint, so we understand what we got to do, and we just got to go play.
Do you think it serves as a reminder, though, of what happened in the second half last year?
I mean, we've played a lot of games since then, so I don't really know why you're asking that question. So next one.
For you guys, for Devontae in a game like this is kind of the first two games. It's been kind of up tempo, the speed. I mean, he's played well, but do you expect maybe a little more from him as you go through the season?
Not really, because you got to play within the system. You got to do what the system asks you to do. In other words, we were in a lot of 3 down front last week, and in the 3 down front, based upon things that were happening, he was actually dropping and setting the edge. I mean, because the first thing you had to do in that game was stop the run, and if you look, they really didn't run the ball. I mean, actually going into that last drive, they were slightly under 3 yards a carry. So we're going to do what we got to do to stop the run. We're going to do what we got to do to stop the team that we're playing and hold them to a low number. And to do that, Devontae had to do some things in the last game, and then he only played a half in the first game. Right. So I don't think that's a fair question. So he just got to play within the system. The worst thing to do is to try to do too much and create a seam. So play within the system, he'll be fine.
I guess the better question would have been he seems so versatile. You had him lined up in so many places last week that he just seems like he's more versatile, or you're playing him in more positions than you did last year.
Yes, a little bit, but it was a little bit. Last week was more about having to play a certain way relative to who we were playing and the fronts we had to play. So in that regard, he had to drop a little bit. Plus, they were throwing the ball pretty quick. There really wasn't time to get there in that regard. And then in the first game, he played the first half. So we got to play some games and let him keep playing.
What about with D? What do you? How do you switch things up for the first half?
It's called the way it's called. We got to live with it. We got guys that are backups, and it's like an injury, so we prepare for it and we move on.
How do you get him
ready for? He's ready to play. He's preparing. He understands when he gets to go in the game, so he'll be ready. So it's what it is. So move on.
What's the after those first 2 games? Talk about the focus and how it kind of changes things. Coach talked about not overlooking those 2, and you guys. You didn't, but now this is one of those big games on the schedule.
Right. We've been trying to take every game one game at a time. Last year we started out 0-3, so it's just us trying to start this year better and get more wins.
Is it hard not to, though, when Florida State's there?
Of course it's hard, but at the same time, like I said, we started out 0-3, so it's like you don't want to start that year the same way, and that left a bad taste in our mouth from last year. So it made us focus more on each game and be more detailed.
What have you seen with their offense, with Francois being the guy at the trigger this year?
He can make good passes down the field. He can run, so that gives us more to think about as a defense, and we have to play more players because they have a good running back and they have a quarterback that can run just as good. So it just keeps us on our toes up front.
Josh, how much has last year's game come up conversations just as far as what happened in the third quarter?
I mean, the only thing that came up is that we didn't win. You know, we was leading at halftime and we didn't finish the job. And that's what we're trying to focus on this year, is finishing every game.
Keith said that you guys, I don't know if it was just linebacker group or the whole defense, watched the Dalvin Cook run again on Sunday. Or
Right.
You remember what that was like or what the coaches said that time?
I mean, it was a play where we missed a lot of tackles, and, you know, it was a great run by him. And for us this year, you know, we just have to all fly to the ball and get him down.
The hype around this game day, setting up everything out here. I mean, how fun is this for you guys? I mean, this is why you come to these programs to play these type of games.
I mean, it's fun. It's very exciting for the fans and stuff. But we're trying to stay focused because, you know, it's a tough game, and if we get wrapped up in all that, then we're not going to be focused on what we need to be. So it's just about us going out there and competing to the best of our ability.
How hard is it to tune all that out?
It's very hard because, you know, it's the first time that college game day is here, and the city is really excited about it. The school is really excited about it. But for us, we just have to stay focused.
For you, how hard is it to stay focused on where you have to? I mean, you're moving around so many different places.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it to learn what you need to do to be successful out there this year?
I don't think it was that hard because we have great coaches that did a good job of breaking it down to me and making it a lot easier. And I've been in this defense a couple of years now, so it's really just knowing where to line up, basically.
Josh, how do you think it'll affect you guys to have D out for the first half?
D, he's a great player, and I know he can play a lot of positions, but we also have, like, Zach Cannon. He can play both safeties. Chuck can play both safeties. So I just feel like with the depth that we have, we won't miss too much, but as good as he is, we need him out there.
How did you reflect on your performance against Florida State last year, your individual shot?
Me personally, I didn't think I played that well, and that's for me to correct this year and try to go out there and try to have a better game.
Coach Petrino said he thought that the game last year kind of hurt your all's pride a little bit. I guess maybe motivated you guys to turn around, close pretty strong for the rest of the year. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, because I feel like we was that close to winning it. You know, the year before we was up at halftime. Last year we was up at halftime. So it's really just about us finishing the whole game and playing the second half just how we came out the first half.
That one Dalvin run, how many times did you all see it on SportsCenter the next week, or whatever? Just how many times and what was that like? Because it got replayed a bunch of times.
I mean, it was crazy because it was a bad play for us, but we have to learn from it, and we've seen it a lot across SportsCenter and stuff. But that's what happens when players make plays. So it's up to us this year to stop them.
Can you allow yourself to savor this week, or is it all work?
I mean, we're going to treat this week the same we treated last week and the week before that. Just coming out here to practice to get better and working on our technique and focusing on the things we got to do to win.
How difficult has it been not to think about this week before now? I mean, everybody says focus on one game, but you guys knew what this week was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the biggest games of the year, but at the same time, you got to focus on one game at a time, 1 week at a time. So it's here, so now we just got to keep preparing like we have and go out there and execute.
What makes you feel like you're better prepared this year than maybe you were the last 2 years going into this game against Florida State?
Guys have just been coming in, watching extra film and stuff like that, trying to prepare themselves to do what we need to do to keep doing what we've been doing, that's winning. So guys want to win, guys want to be in position to make plays, so we just got to go out there and keep focusing on what we need to do to win.
More extra film this week than other weeks?
Nah, I mean, we always been coming in and watching extra film, so nothing different. We're going to treat this game just like the rest of them.
What do you see from their interior linemen, and in terms of you getting push up on the pocket on Francois?
It's going to be huge. I mean, we obviously got guys that can rush the passes, and Devontae Fields and James Hearns. So the guys inside got to get great pocket push. I mean, pocket push is very valuable in football, so you need that inside presence. So it's going to be huge.
I think it's a big week for Hearns, Tallahassee.
I mean, it's a big week for everybody, man. This is a huge game, and we obviously want to win. We want to come out on top, man. We're going to do the very best we can to do that.
What were your thoughts on the second half last year, and what it felt like for you afterward?
I don't even remember the second half. I just know this year we just got to come out there and just execute, do the things we've been supposed to do and win.
How do you contain Dalvin Cook?
I mean, we got to not let them get cutback lanes. We got to make sure that we all doing our job, all executing our assignments, and we just can't let them get that cutback lane.
Do you not remember, or you just don't want to talk about it?
I don't remember, man. I really don't.
What's it like for you guys when you're walking back and see the game they set up and all that stuff? Is it cool for y'all, and how do you put that out of your mind and concentrate on what you have to do on Saturday?
I mean, it's nice. I feel like it's more so for the fans. I mean, we're not going to be out there, so it's kind of like, it's good for the fans, but, it's a great thing to have college game day here, man. I mean, first time in Louisville history, so it's definitely huge.
Have you had a chance to put the red helmet on yet?
No, I haven't. I need to go inside and do that right now.
What have you seen it though?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What do you guys think about it? What was the kind of the chatter?
It's nice. Very nice. I
Will
like
you
it.
be taping the game?
Am I going to be taping it?
I mean, the game day, all that stuff. You able to see it later?
I'm sure my parents will tape it. I mean, they tape all our games, especially the ones they can't make it to, so I'm sure they'll tape it.
Is there a guy you've seen on TV or NFL or anything that Lamar really reminds you of?
I mean, Lamar's special, man. I mean, I don't want to put no pressure on him to say he's like this guy, but I mean, Lamar's a special guy, man. He's nothing like I've ever seen before. He's a great player.
Does practicing against Lamar help you prepare for DeAndre Francois?
Definitely. I mean, nobody in the country is faster than Lamar at quarterback, so, I mean, that's great practice. Great practice.